Okay, we've done it. We're on to review number 7. And here's question number 1. I guarantee you will have a question like this. It's hard. I know. I'm sorry, but it's good for you. Promise. So let's take a look. Find f of g of 6. So already they're asking us to take our g function and put it into our f function. But when I do problems like this, I like to start off just by saying, hey, what is g of 6? So here is my g function. And remember, anytime I want to plug a value in, all I do is put parentheses around it. So I want to know what's g of 6. Well, then I'm going to plug in 6 here. So it would be 6 squared. G of 6 is 36. But I don't want to know what g of 6 is. I want to know what it is when I take that number and I plug it into my f function. Because f is on the outside. So I'm going to take that, I'm just going to pop it right in there. Oh, shoot. Put parentheses around anywhere there's an x, and then plug in your values. So here, f of 36 is equal to 2 times 36, which is 72, plus 3. So it is 75, and that's your answer. So f g 6 equals 75. Okay, so there's part A for you. I think I'm going to change this color. Just keep things crazy. Keep it crazy. All right, so now we want to solve the equation g of f of x equals 100. Okay, so now what I want to do, g is on the outside. So what that means is I want to take my g function here. I want to put in open parentheses anywhere I see an x. But instead of putting a number in there, I'm actually just going to put my f of x function inside of it, here and here. Well, I don't want to just write f of x because that's not going to help me when I'm solving. But what is f of x? It's 2x plus 3. Okay, so now g of f of x, or g of 2x plus 3, equals 2x plus 3 squared. Now remember, this is something that we've talked about in the past. If you have something like this, we cannot say that that is 4x squared plus 9. That is, that's wrong, that's wrong. Someone made me sing the day before yesterday. It made me really uncomfortable because he was a really good singer. Like, really good. I'm not. Okay, so here we go. When we have a binomial, squared, or raised to any exponent, it means that I have 2 of them being multiplied together. And when we get something like that, what we need to do is we then need to FOIL them. So first gives me, well, 2x times 2x gives me 4x squared. Outer, 2x times 3. Shish kebab. I don't know why that happened. 2x squared. 2x times 3 is going to be, oh, shish kebab. What the heck? Where's my brain at? Sorry, my brain is everywhere but right here, right now. Okay, then the next two is again going to be 6x. And lastly, oh no, I want brown, that's what I want. 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. So I just multiplied all those together, but what about the signs in between them, right? So each time I was multiplying positive times positive, that gives me a positive 4x squared, positive, positive, and positive, that gives me positive here, positive, positive, that gives me positive here, and positive, positive, that's also positive. So now I need to combine. These two are the only ones I can combine. So it gives me 4x squared plus 12x plus 9 is g of f of x. Okay, so that is the answer to part B. Okay, so now let's take a look. Let's change up these colors first, just to keep it weird. No, I don't want to do that yet. Okay, so now find the inverse function of f. Okay, remember, I'm going to draw some lines, keep things a little clear. So now f of negative 1 of x means switch your x and y. Switch them. So if I look at my f of x function, I don't have a y. So remember, we take this guy, we change it to y, because it means the same thing. And now we switch our x and y. And solve for y. Again, we are trying to isolate, that's good, don't worry about it, you can make some noise, that's fine. We are trying to isolate our y, so we're using SADMED. Right, we're going in reverse order because we're trying to get rid of stuff. We want to send it to the other side. So I want to subtract and add first. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Now I want to divide or multiply. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And it gives me, sorry, I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to bring it up here. X minus 3 over 2 equals y. Well, now what we can do is we can change this y back to a function, right? But now it's not just f of x, because it's the inverse function of x. So we have to put that negative 1 there to show that this is the inverse function, that this is not the original. And there is your answer for the inverse function of x. Okay, great. So now what we want to do, change up our colors, keeping it weird. The inverse, oh my gosh, this is like crazy, right? So here, what it's asking us to do is it's saying, take that 5, put it into my inverse function of f, right? So yeah, we can take this. We've got our inverse function of x. But we're going to be replacing, no, I don't want to use this. No, I don't want to use this. We're going to be replacing this x with 5. And simplify. And here we're not using SADMED because all I'm trying to do is, I'm not trying to move anything across to the other side of the equal sign. All I'm trying to do is just condense what's already together. So here, 5 minus 2 gives me 2, divided by 2 gives me 1. So now I know what f of negative 1 of 5 is, or the inverse function of f of 5, whatever. But now I want to take that answer and plug it into what's on the outside, which is just my f function. So not f of -1, but just f of x, going back to my original here, is 2x plus 3. Again, I'm taking the answer I got here and plugging it in for x. Two times 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. So our answer to the function is 5. We are so close to being done. I kind of want to scream. But you're doing great. Keep going.